Mr. and Mrs. Wilson are carrying a dead body in a suitcase at 2:30 in the night, whose hand peeping from the cover of his chain was soaked in his own blood. There were only fingers in that severed hand. There was no thumb in that hand. Somebody cut it, and Mr. and Mrs. Wilson are only worried that no one should see the sweat dripping from their forehead and the blood falling from the hand kept in the bag.
Listen.
Speaking later. First we have to get out of here.
After all, she's our daughter. Is it necessary to do this?
Didn't you hear what priest said? This is the last way, and I am doing this for both of us only.
Before Mrs. Wilson could say anything else, Mr. Wilson put the blood-stained suitcase in the trunk of his car and drove down a deserted road. Lily is the topper of her class, but her stammer has become a problem for her. Often the children in the class mimic her stammer and make fun of her and bully her by throwing paper balls at her till the teacher comes to the class. Lily too would have tolerated all this by choking. This kind of behavior of children of her age made her lonely.
Lily, what's the time?
There was another boy in Lily's class who stammered like her, Peter. Seeing this condition of Lily, he also started feeling sympathy. Peter thought many times that he should go and talk to Lily, but he was also afraid that the children might leave Lily and start making fun of him. Nevertheless, gathering courage in himself, he tried several times to talk to Lily, but always stopped at the last moment. Luckily, Peter was also Lily's neighbor, the one who always kept looking at Lily from his window, but these days don't know why Lily had closed her door and window for everyone. The days of Lily and Peter started passing, but then one night, Peter's dog Leo started barking outside the window, which disturbed Peter's sleep.
What happened, Leo? Why are you barking today in the middle of the night?
As soon as he said this, Peter went to Leo and started caressing her, but Leo was still barking wildly, as if he felt something strange. Then as soon as Peter looked outside the window, his senses flew away. He started trembling due to fear, because Lily's dead body was hanging from the fan. For the first few moments, Peter was stunned into silence, but as soon as he regained his senses, he ran out of the room, screaming,
Mom and Dad, wake up!
Peter's mother and father also woke up from their sleep after seeing their son's senses blown away, and when Peter informed him about the matter, he too was shocked. The next day, the rest of the society gathered outside Lily's house. They began to sympathize and talk to each other.
It's too bad.
Poor girl was this even an age.
Neighbors were saying all this after seeing Lily's dead body. When Lily's parents came out of their house, he also had a paper in his hand, whom he suppressed. He told the neighbors,
What have you guys come to? Everything has been taken away from us.
What is left now?
We had come to share your sorrows, and you?
This is Lily's suicide note. Sorry, Mom and Dad, I have to take this step. But what should I do? In school, kids are making fun of me and don't even play with me. This loneliness is suffocating. I want to die. Before I suffocate more.
It's not suicide, it's murder. And your children have killed my daughter. Enough is enough. We don't want your false consolations. Go away and leave us to our fate.
There is no time for goodness.
And went away. After saying this, Peter, who was watching all this from the gate of his house, suddenly Lily's voice echoed in his ears.
Peter, you could have saved me.
When Peter looked around, fearfully, there was no one there. Then he himself considered it as his illusion and went back to the house. Like every day, Peter was looking at Lily's window that night too, because Lily's death was eating Peter from inside, as if this is the result of his mistake. Now he just used to sit near his window all day long and kept looking at Lily's house.
I could have stopped all this. I wish I would have had some courage that day.
One night, when Peter was doing his homework, a slight breeze started blowing his assignment paper. As he raised his eyes to see this, his attention fell on the mirror, which had Lily and her same lifeless eyes that he had seen that night. Trembling with fear, as soon as he looked back, he did not see anyone, but as soon as he turned back, he saw Lily's rotten image on the paper, whose eyes were staring at Peter only. Sobbing, he went to a corner of the room and started crying. But before he could recover from this shock, his eyes fell on Lily's window, on which a shadow made of flames appeared. Peter took out binoculars from his cupboard and saw that Lily's parents were performing a black magic in her room, and some mantras were muttered after pouring blood in the fire pit. But the surprising thing was that both of them were doing this while sitting inside a red circle.
What are they doing so late in the night? I must see.
But Peter suddenly stopped himself and said,
No, this is his personal matter.
Saying this, Peter went to sleep. The night had just turned dark. Suddenly, Lily's scream once again echoed in his ears, due to which his blood was about to dry.
Peter, you could stop everything. Stop them.
Before this, Peter woke up in a panic. Like before, Leo lay down on the bed beside him and started making thin sounds, as if he was scared.
I am also scared, Leo. You will also sleep with me. Nothing will happen to anyone if we stay together.
Leo and Peter closed their eyes, even though they could not sleep. On the other hand, Lily's mother and father were doing the black magic while chanting mantras, whose voice was clearly heard by Peter. The chanting of mantras went on for the whole night, and Lily's mother and father performed sacrifices. For many nights in a row, black magic was going on one side, and on the other side, Peter could hear Lily's voice, day and night. Even Peter was now scared of his reflection in the mirror. He felt that Lily's rotten dead body was hanging behind him, hanging from the noose. And with open eyes, she just keeps on looking at Peter. Then one day, when chanting stopped, he looked at Lily's house from his window. Lily's parents were carrying some stuff in a big suitcase. Peter had clearly seen the hand that came out of that suitcase and its severed thumb. Seeing all this, Peter smelled some conspiracy.
Something is strange. Where are these people going after so many days of black magic? That too with such a big suitcase? And whose hand is this? Is it?
Saying to himself, Peter immediately ran towards the door of his house, but before he could go out, Peter's mother stopped him.
Where are you going so late at night?
Mom Lily's parents are going somewhere late this night with a big suitcase. They have been in her room for the last few days.
Before Peter could finish his words, his mother scolded him and silenced him.
I'm telling you for the last time, stay away from them. Firstly, they can't talk to anyone directly. If they are carrying the suitcase, then let them go.
Then Peter fell completely silent and went back to his room with a sad heart. Peter woke up one night again to the sound of Leo barking. As he had woken up the night he saw Lily's dead body, he caressed Leo and asked what happened to her. But Leo barking didn't stop, and Lily's window, which was often open, was also closed today.
I understand, Leo. There is something in that room. This time, I'll have to go see for myself.
Peter was determined this time, letting her know about the voices in the room and Lily. That's why he first came out of his house with Leo, and then entered Lily's house by jumping the gate, then opened the gate for Leo, and Leo came in too, but all the doors of the room were locked from inside. Suddenly Peter's eyes fell on a pipe, which went to the roof crossing next to Lily's window.
If I can climb through this pipe and reach the window, I can open the window and go inside.
As soon as Peter climbed through the pipe and entered the house, he saw what he could not have imagined even in his dreams. Peter saw that Lily's parents had also committed suicide by hanging themselves in the same room. And on seeing this, a loud scream came out of his mouth.
How is it possible? I'll have to call the police.
Saying this, Peter ran toward the door. That's when the souls of Mr. and Mrs. Wilson appeared in front of him.
You will not go anywhere, Peter.
You shouldn't have come here, Peter.
But why did you guys do all this? Tell me.
We died on the same day, when our daughter committed suicide. Who better than us can understand the sorrow of leaving the only daughter? Everything in this house has her memories embedded in it. And without Lily, the house bites. We were not able to understand anything, how to live life ahead. Then someone introduced us to a priest.
Priest told us that there is a way by which we can meet our daughter again. After doing black magic for 4 nights, we will have to cut off Lily's left thumb and keep it under her pillow and deposit her body in his hermitage.
Then we will also have to commit suicide in the same way as Lily did.
And then some people from the hermitage will come and make us and our daughter alive again. Never again will anyone be able to separate us from our daughter.
Hey, it's all superstition. Wait, I'll get the police.
No one will go to the police. They must have come from the hermitage.
As soon as she said this, Lily's parents attacked him with his powers. He started throwing everything lying in the room on Peter. Peter also tried to escape, but when he started getting tired, he got soaked in his own blood due to the injury caused by the things. Seeing this condition of Peter, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson lifted a big table lying in the room in the air and were about to throw it at Peter. Peter also closed his eyes, seeing his death in front of him, and muttered,
Please forgive me, if possible.
But before that table fell on Peter, Lily's soul came at the last moment and saved Peter, and with her powers made the table into 2 pieces. When Peter opened his eyes, there was a happiness on his face. He was just looking at Lily.
Mom, Dad, what were you guys going to do? Tell me.
My baby girl, you have finally come.
We were doing all this for you. And now you see.
You guys don't know anything, Mom, Dad. The priest to whom you had given my dead body had tampered with my dead body, Mom, and then removed all my organs after operation and sold them in the black market, and convinced you people to commit suicide like me, so that there is no evidence left against him.
I won't spare that bastard priest.
We can't do anything to him, and now our souls will keep wandering like this.
Will not wander. You people will get salvation, and that priest will also be punished.
After this, Peter did what was right. He called the police and told the whole story from beginning to end. The police raided the priest hermitage, where not only Lily, but also dead bodies of young girls were found, and a lot of black money that he had earned through illegal activities. The police conducted the last rites of Lily and her parents. Today, It has been 6 years since this accident. And even today, Peter keeps staring at Lily's house, sitting near his window. Perhaps his love is true and immortal too.